Okay, so we will continue no sa this topic is for your plate number 4 no. Application na ito sa exponential rule. Okay, so we'll start number 37. A new DVD is available for sale in a store 1 week after its release. The cumulative revenue R from sales of the DVD in this store in week T after its release is R equals F of T equals 350 ln of T with T greater than 1. Find F of T, find F of 5 and F prime of 5 and the relative rate of change F prime over F. Okay, so if we look at the given equation, R equals F of T equals 350 ln of T with T greater than 1. Right? So, i-define natin muna no, ang mga letters dito sa given equation. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng R? Pino to? Okay na. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng R? Okay, so ang R class, sinabi dito, cumulative revenue. Diba? R is cumulative revenue, which is R. Okay, palitan ko ng color. Revenue R. Ano ibig sabihin ng revenue? Actually, ang revenue cost is equals to cost of producing certain units plus the profit. Okay, for example, if you are producing one ice candy, isang stick ng ice candy, let's say ang cost niya is 5 pesos, then ang profit mo 2 pesos, so ibibenta mo siya ng 7 pesos, that is called revenue R. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng revenue. Alright? So, may binigay na revenue R which is equals to F of T, no? Equals 350 ln of T. Okay, so our F of T is the revenue, no? Which is equals to 350 ln of T, that is your T greater than 1. So, ano kaya ibig sabihin nito? T is greater than 1. For example, if your T is equals to 0, can we use this equation, which is F of T equals 350 ln of T? We cannot, no? Kasi nag-fail dito sa restriction ng equation. So, your T must be greater than 1. So, if your T equals to 5, then you can use this equation. Diba? If your T is equals to 2, then you can also use this equation as long as your T greater than 1. Alright? So, if T less than 1, no? If T less than 1, we cannot use F of T equals 350 ln of T. We can only use this revenue equation if your T greater than 1. Okay? So, ang revenue natin is in terms of dollars, then ang T natin, time yan, naka-week. Okay? So, if you have T equals 5, meaning to say that is 5 weeks. If your T is equals to 2, that is actually 2 weeks. Okay? So, we are looking class for the F of 5. Okay? So, meaning we can use this equation, no? Kasi F of 5, your T is equals to 5. So, therefore, we can use this equation. 350 ln of T. So, just substitute it. 350 ln of 5. How much? F of 5, no? Yan. F of 5. Okay, so, using calculator, 350 ln of 5. How much? 563.30, no? 563.30, and of course the unit is dollars, right? Yan. And then next tanong is, next required question is F prime of 5. Okay, so F prime of 5, ano kaya ang ibig sabihin ng F prime? That is actually df, no, over dt, right? So, may binigay na revenue equation which is equals to F of T equals what? 350 ln of T. So, how will you solve for df over dt. So we have to derive, now we have to derive to obtain df. So deriving both sides using implicit derivative of df of t is df na lang natin, no? Tanggalin na lang natin ang of t. O, equals to, so that is ln, no? Derivative ng ln. Kopya natin ang 350. And then the derivative of ln of t is 1 over t. And then the derivative of t, of course, dt. Diba? So, multiply natin dito ng dt. Yan. So, your answer, the equation will be df is equals to 350 over t dt. So, I am looking, class, we are looking for df over dt. So, you just divide it by dt. Both sides, no? So, we can cancel out dt. Okay, cancel out dt. So, df over dt is equals to 350 over t, which is actually ang df over dt is your f prime. Diba? F prime. So, f prime of 5, can you follow? F prime of 5 is equals to 350 over t. Then, just substitute it. F prime. Cut natin, no? F prime of 5 is equals to 350 over 5. So, F prime. Tanggalan ko na lang ng 5. Tanggalin natin ang 5. F prime of 5 equals 350 over 5. How much? Right? 350 over 5 equals 70. Okay, so 70. Ano kaya ang unit? O, para maintindihan mo ang unit, kasi ang F prime, that is df over dt. Okay? So, the unit is, okay, sorry. The unit is F prime 70. Ang df kasi, class, is dollars, di ba? Then, ang dt is in week. So, the answer is $70 per week. Ang F prime of 5 is $70 per week. Okay, so next question is relative rate of change, no? We have to solve for the relative rate of change, which is f prime, which is f prime over f. Okay, so our f prime is $70, no? $70 per week. And then ang f natin kanina is 563.3 dollars. So we can cancel out dollars. Right? F prime over f is 70 over 563. Calculator. 70 over 563.30 equals 1243. No? 0.1243 over week. Yan. Per week. Or in terms of percent, that is 12.43% per week. Okay, that is f prime over f, no? F prime over f. Okay, 12.43% per week. Okay, next example. Okay, number 33. It says that a fish population is approximated by P of t equals 10 e to the power of 0.60, where t is in months. Calculate the use units to explain what each of the following tells us about the population. A, P of 12, and then B, P prime of 12. So, balikan natin ang binigay na equation. Okay? So, ang binigay na equation, class, is P of t, no? P is a function of t, which is 10 e 0.60. Okay? So, ano kaya ang ibig sabihin ng P? Ang ibig sabihin ng P, of course, no? Sinabi dito, fish population is approximated by P of t. So, meaning, ang P natin, that is fish population, and then ang T natin, that is time measured in months. Kung t equals 5, that is 5 months. Kung 12, that is 12 months. Okay, so calculate the units explained. Now, what each of the following tells us about the population? So, P of 12. So, hindi pa tayo nag-derive, no? That is P of 12. Dito tayo mag-derive P prime of 12. Okay? So, P of 12 no, is equals to 10 E 0.6 times 12. Kasi our T is 12. So, our P of 12 is equals to, using calculator, 10 ba yun? No? 10 alpha E, no? Exponent 0.0 what? 0.6 times 12. Okay, 0.6 times 12. Okay, 13,394. Okay, so round off lang natin, no? 13,394. 394. So, anong unit pieces, no? Yan. 13,394 pieces. Okay? So, yan. Then, letter B is P prime. We are looking for P prime. No? P prime of 12. Ang ibig sabihin ng P prime, that is actually dP over dt. So, we have to derive the given equation, which is P of t is equals to 10e 0.60. Okay? So, how will you derive? So, dapat to obtain P prime, no? To obtain P prime or dP over dt, we have to derive this equation. No? To obtain dP, we have to derive P. Okay, so deriving both sides using implicit derivative of P, that is dP. Tanggalin na natin ang T, no? Equals, so, E ito, no? So, how will you derive? Copy 10, then E 0.60, and then of course, pag E yan, i-derive mo lang ang kanyang exponent. Okay, the derivative of 0.60 is 0.6 dt. Tapos, ilagay dito, no? 0.6 dt. Yan. The next is, simplifying, dP is equals to, so we can multiply 10 times 0.6, that is equals to 6e, no? 0.60 dt. So, since I am looking for dP over dt, I have to divide this both side by dt. Diba? So, cancel out. So, our dP over dt, no? dP over dt is equals to 6e 0.60. So, since our dP over dt is P prime, so your P prime of 12 months, no? 6e 0.6 times 12. Right? So, P prime of 12 is equals to, using calculator, 6, no? Right? 6 alpha E, and then 0. What? 0.6 times 12. 6 by 12. How much? 880.36. That is 8037, no? Round off lang natin. Okay, 8037. Ano ang unit? Kasi ang ibig sabihin kasi ng P prime is dP over dt. So, ang P natin is what? Fishes. Diba? Or fish. Fish ba yun? Over, then ang T natin is in months. Ayan. Okay, so P12 is equals to 8,037 fish per month. Okay, next example. Ayan. Find the equation of the tangent line. Find the equation of the tangent line to f of x equals 10 is negative 0.2x at x is equals to 4. So, intindihin natin muna ang binigay na equation, which is f of x. Saan ba class naka-tangent ang line natin? Of course, sa f of x, no? Then, yan, 0.2x. So, meaning, this one is a curve. Kasi hindi pwede magka-form ng tangent line kung hindi curve ang kasama ang intersection niya, no? So ibig sabihin, for example, ito ang curve natin, and then ang tangent line natin, mga ganito, no? Yan, for example lang. So ito ang, for example, for instance, ito ang graph na ano, na f of x is equals to 10 e to the power of negative 0.2x, and then this one is the tangent line na required, no? The equation of the tangent line, right? So ano kaya point dito, class? Point of intersection. So may binigay siya na x equals 4. So ibig sabihin ang point dito 4 and a certain value of y. Ano ang y natin dyan? Okay? So ang y, class, no? Kasi nasa ang point 4, ang x is equals to 4, nasa equation din naman yan, na nasa graph din naman ito ng 10 e to the power of negative 0.2x. So we can solve the value of y using this equation. Okay? So we will just substitute it, f of x into y, which is equals to 10 e negative 0.2x. So our x is what? Is 4. What is our y? No? So y is equals to 10 e negative 0.2 times 4. Your y is 10 e negative 0.8. So yan ang y natin. So ibig sabihin ang ordered pairs or ang point of intersection, class, between the tangent line and the curve 10 e to the power of 0.26 is 4 and 10, then what? 10 e to the power of negative 0.8. Okay, so yan ang common point ng tangent line pati ang curve. Okay, so meaning ang point 4 and 10 e to the power of 0.8 nasa tangent line yan, pati nasa curve. So we can use this one for the tangent line. Kasi ito din naman, no, ang point ng tangent line na pwede natin gamitin. Okay, so yan. Ulitin ko, dito tayo, no? Find the equation of the tangent line. So dapat alam mo ang equation ng tangent line. Again, ang tangent line, ang equation ng tangent line is just the same as the straight line. Diba? Which is y minus y1 equals mx minus x sub 1. Okay, so saan ba point natin yan, class? So kasi we are looking, class, for the equation of the tangent line. So ito ang equation ng tangent line. Diba? So y minus, ano ba ang y1 natin? Ang y1 natin, of course, ito, no? 10e 0.8 negative, no? So 10e negative 0.8 equals slope of the tangent line, wala pa tayo, x minus, ano ang x1 natin? May binigay, no? Which is 4. Yan. So how will you solve for the slope of the tangent line? Okay? So mangyari, no? Ang slope kasi sa point na to, ang slope sa point na 4 and 10 e to the power of negative 0.8, sa point na to pareho, class, ang slope ng curve sa point na to pati yung tangent line. So, okay. So, para maintindihan, no? At 4 and 10 e negative 0.8, the slope of the curve is just the same as the slope of the tangent line. So, pwede natin kunin, class, ang slope ng curve. May binigay kasi ang equation ng curve, which is f of x or y, diba? 10 what? 10 e negative 0.2x. So, yan ang equation ng curve. Okay? So, how will you solve for the slope? Ano ang ibig sabihin ng slope? Ang slope, m, class, is just dy over dx. Or sometimes tangent theta. Okay, so para makasolve tayo ng slope, we have to derive y. Kasi ang ibig sabihin ng slope is dy over dx. So derive this equation using implicit both side. Derivative of y is dy. Derivative of 10e yan to the power of negative 0.2x. Madali lang. Kopyahin lang ang 10. Then kopyahin ang whole e. Yan, pati kanyang exponent. Then derive mo ang exponent ng x. And derive natin ang exponent ng sulit ko lang derive natin ang exponent ng e which is 0.2x. Pag i-derive natin class, that is equals to negative 0.2 dx. Then ilagay dito, multiply yan siya ng negative 0.2 dx. Okay, so simplifying the equation, your dy is how much? We can multiply 0.2 negative 0.2 times 10, that is negative 2. Okay, it's negative 2, then e negative 0.2x dx. So I'm looking for the slope, which is dy over dx. So kulang tayo ng dx dito, lagyan lang natin ng dx, and then isolate, cancel out. So our dy over dx is equals to negative 2 e negative 0.2x. Yan. So slope ng ano ito, class? That is the slope of the curve, not the slope of the tangent line. Alright. So since at 4 and 10 e negative 0.2 ba yun? Or 0.8? Oh, 0.8, no? Okay. 0.8. 0.8. Ang slope ng curve is just the same as the slope of the tangent line. So ano ang slope ng curve at 4 and 10? 10e to the power of 0.8. So just substitute it, negative, diba? Okay, negative, anong slope ng curve? Negative 2. Slope ng curve is negative 2e negative 0.2 times 4. Diba? Kasi at 0.4 and 10e, we are using for x. We are using 4, no, sa x. So the slope of the curve is negative 2e negative 0.8, which is also the slope of the tangent line, negative 2e negative 0.8. Right, so meron na tayong slope ng tangent line. Okay, so we can substitute, no, dito. So our y equals 10e negative 0.8. Sorry, erase ko lang, no. Hindi pala ito equals, minus, no, minus, so equals to, ano ang slope ng tangent line natin? Sana, okay, negative 2e 0.8. Negative 2e negative 0.8 times x minus 4. Right, so yan ang equation ng tangent line. We just simplify this one. Okay, so our y is equals to y minus 10e negative 0.8 equals, so distribute, no, that is negative 2x e negative 0.8 minus or plus na, no, plus 8 e negative 0.8. So transpose this one sa kabila, magiging y equals negative 2x e negative 0.8 plus 8 e negative 0.8. Ang negative 10 magiging positive 10 e negative 0.8. Okay, so merong like terms. Ito ang like terms, so we can combine this one. We can combine that one. So our equation of the tangent line y is equals to negative 2x e negative 0.8. Kasi ito, dalawa, they are like terms, no? They are like terms. Then plus 8, that is 18 e negative 0.8, and close. Ayan ang equation ng tangent line. Okay? So, ano pa ba ang required? Wala, no? Find the equation of the tangent line. So, this one is the equation of the tangent line. Right? Next example. Number 44. What? With time t, no? With time t in minutes, the temperature H in degrees Celsius of a bottle of water put in the refrigerator at T equals 0 is given by H equals 4 plus 16e to the power of negative 0.02 T. How fast is the water cooling initially? After 10 minutes? Initially, no? Initially, then the other one is after 10 minutes. So you look at the given equation. Intindihin natin muna ang binigay na equation, which is H equals, diba? 4 plus 16e negative 0.02t. Yan, ang binigay na equation. Equation ng ano ito, class? With time t in minutes, the temperature H. So, equation ng temperature in degrees Celsius. O, ibig sabihin ng H is temperature measured in Celsius. No? And then, the other variable T is, ano yan? T, of course, time measured in minutes. Okay? So, he is asking class, how fast is the water cooling initially? So, ang how fast is the water cooling initially, actually, we are looking class for dH over dt. Yan. So, yan ang binigay na equation. So, how will you solve for dH over dt? So, we have to derive. Deriving both sides by implicit. So, derivative of h is dH. Diba? dH equals derivative of constant for 0 plus derivative of may e. So, kung may e class, just copy 16 and then copy e negative 0.02t. Tama na? And then, just derive the exponent. Pag i-derive natin class, ang exponent, that is negative 0.02 dt. So, multiply natin dito. Yan. dt. Okay, so simplifying. Excuse me. Simplifying, no? dH is equals to, 0 na yan, wala na. Okay, so we can multiply this one. 0.02 negative times 16. Negative 0.02 times 16 yata yun, no? How much? Negative 0.32. So, negative 0.32 e negative 0.02 t dt. Right? So, I am looking for dH over dt. So, I have to divide this one by dt, no? Both side. Cancel out. So, dH over dt is equals to negative 0.32 e 0.02 0.02 t. So this is class the equation of ano yan? How fast is the water cooling? So dH over dt is equals to negative 0.32 e to the power of 0.02 t. Okay? So he's asking how fast is the water cooling initially? So initially, ano ba ang T natin initially? Our T is equals to 0. So meaning, ang dH over dt natin is equals to negative 32. Diba? Ano ang unit? Of course, degree Celsius per minute. Okay? Kasi ang H is in degree Celsius, diba? Ang T is in minutes. Right? So, next is after 10 minutes. So, just substitute it. No? Substitute. And then ganito, no? Isa-isahin natin muna. Okay, delete. Diba? The equation of the dH over dt is negative 0.32 e negative 0.02 t. Your t is 0 initially. So, this will be equals to negative 0.32 e to the power of 0. Any number if the exponent is 0 is 1 because that is actually divided by itself. So your dh over dt is equals to negative 0.32. What is the unit? Of course, H is degree Celsius and then T is in minutes. Okay, so yan ang sa first question. And the other question, if T is after 10 minutes, so ibig sabihin, ang T natin is equals to 10 minutes, no? Right, so your dH dt over dt is equals to negative 0.32 e negative what? 0.02. Okay, so negative 0.02 times 10. Okay, using calculator. Okay, negative 0.32 alpha e and then exponent negative din. Okay, negative, no? Negative 0.02 negative 0.02 by 10 minutes equals 0.27. Okay, so our dH over dt at 10 minutes dH over dt at 10 minutes is negative 0.27. The unit is of course degree Celsius per minute. Yeah, right? Kailan mo mag-start class ang freezing point ng water? Kailan mag-start? That is 0 degree Celsius, no? Mag-start ang freezing ng water, no? So at 0 degree Celsius. Okay? Next example. Yan. Number 45. Carbon 14. Basahin natin muna. Carbon 14 is a radioactive isotope used to date objects. Okay, so ginagamit pala ito yun, no? To date objects. Ang carbon 14. It is a radioactive isotope used to date objects. So if A0 represents the initial amount of the carbon 14, ulitin ko, no? If A0 represents the initial amount of carbon 14 in the object, then the quantity remaining at time t in years is A of t equals AO e to the power of negative 0.000121 t. Okay? So, unahin natin ang binigay na equation. So, may binigay na equation class which is A of t, no? Equals AO, no? E negative 0. How many 0? 1, 2, 3. 1 to 1, no? 1 to 1 t. Alright? So, i-define natin class ang binigay na equation. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng A? That is the amount of the carbon 14. Alright? And then AO, that is the initial amount of the carbon 14. Initial amount ang AO, then ang A is the amount of the carbon quantity remaining at time t. Okay? So, our t is time measured in years. Okay? So, ano ba ang sa letter A? Letter A, at 3 originally meaning initial, no? A tree originally containing 185 micrograms of carbon 14 is now 500 years old. At what rate is the carbon 14 decaying? So, may binigay na equation which is A of t equals AO E 0.0000121 t. Okay? So, he is asking class at what rate is that carbon 14 decaying? At what rate? Actually, class, pag rate, that is derivative. That is derivative of A with respect to t, time t. Yeah. So, we are looking, class, for dA over dt. So, given this equation, Given this equation, okay, ano kaya ang initial? Meron ba? A tree originally containing 185 micrograms. So our AO is 185 micrograms. So substitute lang natin muna, no? A of T is equals to 185 micrograms. E, yan, 0.0000121 T. Okay, so yan na ang bagong equation natin, no? Kasi may initial na carbon 14 which is equals to 185 micrograms. So since the question is at what rate is the carbon 14 decaying, meaning he is asking for dA over dt, kasi ang ibig sabihin ng rate, that is derivative of A with respect to time t. So how will you do that? So again, no, you have to derive this equation. Okay, you have to derive this equation using implicit derivative of A is dA. Derivative of A is dA. Tanggalin na natin ang of t, no? Equals, so how will you derive ito? Kasi may E, no? Just copy 185, then copy E 0.0000121 T, and then after that, kasi nga E yan, you have to derive the exponent of E. So the derivative of exponent of E is negative 0.0000121. Derivative of T is dt. So multiply natin dito. Tama na? Okay, multiply natin, no? Negative 0.00121 dt. Okay, dt, no? So we can multiply 0.00121 to 185. So simplifying, no? Our dA is equals to, so multiply natin ang 0.00121 using calculator, negative, no? 0.0000121 times how much? 185 equals 0.022. Alright, so negative 0.022 E, di ba? Negative 0.0000121 T dt. So I am looking for dA over dt. I have to divide this one by dt, both side. So we can cancel out dt. So ang naiwan class dito ay dA over dt is equals to negative 0.022 E negative 0.0000121 T. Alright, so he's asking for what? Ulitin natin ang tanong. A tree originally containing 185 micrograms of the carbon 14 is now 500 years old. At what rate? So meaning our T is 500. So we just substitute it. Now T is equals to 500 years. So substitute to the given equation, dA over dt equals negative 0.022 E negative 0.0000121 times 500. Okay? So, ang dA over dt natin using calculator, I take the picture. Negative 0.022 alpha E exponent. Ano kanyang exponent? Okay, negative 0.00121 negative 0.123, okay, 121 times 500 years, no? And then equals, okay, so negative 0.21 negative 0.021, okay, negative 0.021. What is the unit? Ang A is the amount, no, in micrograms, then per year. Ang T is in year. Okay, so that is negative. Ang ibig sabihin ng negative class, mag-diminish yan siya, no? Ang amount ng carbon 14 Kulang siya kasi negative, no? That is 0.021 micrograms per year. Okay? So letter B. In 1998, no, the scientists found that the shroud of Turin, which was reputed to be the burial cloth of Jesus, containing 91% of the amount of carbon-14, is freshly made cloth of the same material. Now, according to this data, how old was the shroud of Turin? So, ano ba ang tanong dito? According to this data, how old was the shroud of Turin? So, he is asking class for time T. Diba? Ang tanong dito is, according to this data, how old was the shroud of Turin in 1988? So, ano ba yung binigay na equation? Wala siyang rate dito, no? Walang sinabi rate dito. So, meaning we have to use the original equation, this one. A of T equals AO. So, sulat natin, no? Sa kabila. Yan. A of T is equals to AO, or the initial amount of carbon-14, E negative 0.00121 T. Okay? And then, yan. So, he is asking for time T. And follow. How old? According to, ito to, no? How old was the shroud of Turin in 1988? So, he is asking for time T. So, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng scientists found that the shroud of Turin, which was reputed to be the burial cloth of Jesus, contained 91% of the amount of carbon-14. Ang ibig sabihin, class, ng 91% amount of carbon-14 is freshly made cloth of the same material, that is actually A over AO, which is 91% or 0.91. Okay? Yan, no? Rate yan siya, no? A over AO. Ano yung A natin? That is amount at any time T. And then ang A natin, that is the amount of carbon-14 at any time T. And then AO is the initial amount of the carbon-14, which is how much? 185 milligrams. Pero ang binigay dito, diretso na siya, class, 91%. So, ibig sabihin, ang A over AO is 91% or 0.91. So, how will you do that? So, he's asking for E, no? For T, no? He's asking for time T. We are solving for time T. So, mangyari, ang binigay na equation na A equals, chong? Tinga, AO E negative 0.00121 T. So, Waalaikumsalam. Just divide this one by AO, no? And then, cancel out. Okay, so, since ang A over AO natin is 91%, ang ibig sabihin ng 91% is 0.91 equals E negative 0.00121 T. Okay, so we are solving class for T. Paano yan? Okay, so multiply both side by ln, no? Para ma-eliminate natin ang E. So that is ln 0.191. Sorry. 0.91 equals ln E 0.00121 T. Okay, so ano ang ln? ln 0.91. Acho? ln ubos ko dito. 0.91 equals negative 0.094. Right? So, negative 0.094 equals, so this one we can cancel out, no? Ano yan? Properties of natural logarithm. Sa baba na yan, 0.00121 T. So we are solving class for T. Of course, you have to eliminate negative 0.0000121. Both side, negative 0.0000121. Then we can cancel out. Then ang remaining dyan is the time t, which is equals to, you have to use calculator here. That is how much? Negative 0.094, negative 0.094 over negative 0.00121 equals 776.85 or 777 years. 777 years. Yeah, no? Is asking for what? He is asking for, according to this data, no? According to this data, how old was the shroud of Turin in 1988? That is 777 years old. Okay, thank you.